is Jimmy Friday, and we back at it. This week topic is love always trust. And for it to always trust, it takes a firm reliability and the proof that a person shows you that you can depend on them. I think about when my son was little. He always used to call me and ask me for things. When he was at his mom's house, he would call, so I can do stuff for him. And at the time, it never dawned on me, that I had showed him he can believe in me, he can rely on me. Some trust was built. It gave him confidence, that if he called me, that I would come through for him. And it didn't matter, whether it was, just taking him to school, picking him up, or, the football practices, doctor's appointments, birthday parties, whatever he called for, I was there. I just felt like, that's what I was needing to do for him, just out of instinct. And, and so at the time, we never talked about, trust or nothing like that. I just always showed him, leading by example. And so at that point, trust was instilled in him, just from the love I showed him, and so, and even to this day, he knows, no matter where he at or what's going on, if he called me, he know that I'm gonna come through for him. And so now that I've grown, over the years, my son is of age now, so we done built a lot of character with each other. So, he know it doesn't matter whether he need to talk to me about get some advice with school or whatever he going through in life. We done built that up that where he can call me and he know I'm a deliver. So, love always trusts. So sometimes, we kind of take things for granted, with our kids. We around them so much, that it become natural to us. And, we get frustrated with them at times, when they do things that's not up to our expectations. We kind of get angry with them or something like that, and they irritate us, and we kind of forget the joy we had when they was first born, when they first came into the world. And so, but over time, think about your children, think about what you done built with them, how much trust they have in you when they calling on you. Sometimes we feel like, can they call on somebody else this time, but nah, you the one, because love always trusts, and they done built that much trust in you to believe that you're going to do something for them, so we got to keep holding that crown, keep on building that trust with them, it's like it's a privilege. It's a privilege for us to be mothers and fathers out here, so we got to stop taking it for granted, we got to start, building that bond back up with them, making that trust a lot more stronger. Because when they get out here in this world, you are going to be the only one that they can really trust. They have some people they can depend on, but the parent should be the first choice, the number one priority, and so we got to just keep on building on that, because love always trusts, and we start to lose focus, we lose focus on things, just from living everyday life, our distractions, and everything of that nature, so it kind of stirs us away from building with our kids at times, so, keep that in mind, like even just moving on, to relationships, when you are in a relationship with somebody, you're going to trust. A person has to give you something to trust first off. And so, in a relationship, you're going to be dealing with people, you're going to want to trust them. So, we got to give them something to trust, and even, I'm a person that, has taken advantage, of a person and I've had someone take advantage of me as well. But I've took advantage of, someone's love, because at the time I didn't know what love really was. So, I couldn't give them something that I never had. I was still damaged, going through things in life, you know what I mean? So my heart was damaged, so I took advantage of a person's love, so that's why I'm just here today, talking about, love always trust, because now that I've matured and grown, I can, the love can be reciprocated, so that's just me, like I said, I've took advantage of someone, because I didn't know what love was, and I didn't really give them something to trust, so now that things is reversed, I can give things back that I couldn't do before. Just moving on, like, and even with your faith, love always trust. If you're going through hard times, you're gonna believe that your Maker is gonna come through for you. If you're sad, some joy is gonna come. If you feeling depressed, some comfort is gonna come. It's gonna come. If you're feeling hurt or something like that, nourishment is gonna come. If you're facing uphill battles, strength is going to be provided for you. If you're in difficult times, something like that, and it's just like the world is raining on you, that deliverance is going to come. You're going to trust, have firm trust, in your Creator that, whatever you're going through, that you're going to see you through it. That'll wrap it up, for this week. Love always trusts. So let's keep building that trust with each other. Let's keep building that love, so we can start reversing this darkness out here that's going on in the world. There's so much going on in other countries, right here in our own backyard. So it start with us, so we can go and take it out into the world and make things better. Make it better for our children. So let's give them something to trust. Because they leaning on us and they counting on us. And so, that'll wrap it up for this week. So y'all keep your head up, keep on pressing forward. It's a forward march out here. You got to forget what's behind you and press on what's in front of you. And y'all be cool.